Forged by battles, refined by fire, built for purpose. I am Alpha A BET-DAWID, a man who has survived war, prison, betrayal, and brokenness, and discovered that pain is never pointless. Here, we don't waste suffering, we turn it into power. Welcome to the journey. There was a time in my life when I was surrounded by steel bars, concrete walls, and men who had nothing to lose. A time when survival wasn't a mindset, it was a requirement. And the last place I ever expected to encounter God was inside the prison cell of one of the most feared men in the institution. But sometimes, God will hide your breakthrough in the place you're most uncomfortable. My name is Alpha A BET-DAWID, and today I'm sharing a real testimony from my book, Timble, A Victim of God's Purpose, Volume 3. This is not just a prison story. This is the story of when God came in contact with me, long before I ever started looking for Him. When I was in the Toronto Down jail, the atmosphere was heavy. You don't relax in prison. You calculate, you watch, you listen, you survive. There was a man in there, a mob boss, feared, respected, dangerous. His name carried weight in the range. When he walked, people moved. And at that time, I was still trying to figure out who I was. I had grown up a Muslim. I was called Aki by other brothers inside. I stood firm in what I thought I believed. But deep inside, there was confusion. I had already survived war. I had survived betrayal. I had survived poverty. I had survived almost being killed. But surviving doesn't mean you are healed. Sometimes, survival just means you've learned how to function while broken. And I was broken. Emotionally, spiritually, internally. Prison didn't create that brokenness. It exposed it. One day, I found myself inside the cell of this feared mob boss. And there it was, a Bible. Now understand something. I wasn't searching for Jesus. I wasn't looking for Christianity. I wasn't trying to convert. I was trying to survive prison. But when I saw that Bible in his cell, something didn't make sense. Why would a man like that have this book? Curiosity touched me before faith ever did. I picked it up, not because I believed, but because I needed answers. And as I began to read, something shifted inside me. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was subtle, but it was deep. And around that time, I began having dreams, recurring dreams. I would see myself flying above darkness, and I would encounter a figure standing before what looked like a glass barrier. And when I looked down at his feet, there were holes in them. And he would say to me, "You cannot pass through until you truly know me." That dream shook me because I wasn't seeking him, but somehow he was seeking me. I had the same dream every night for 5 days. The dream stopped when I picked up the Bible and began to read. I started with Psalms 150. Let me tell you something real. Prison wasn't my first trauma. Surviving a dysfunctional household, growing up without emotional stability, war, fear, identity confusion, feeling overlooked, feeling unseen. All of that builds something inside a man. Sometimes it builds strength, sometimes it builds walls. I had walls. I masked pain with pride. I masked fear with aggression. I masked insecurity with confidence. But when I picked up that Bible, It was like a mirror. And I didn't like everything I saw. The anger, the bitterness, the spiritual emptiness. Prison didn't make me that way. Life did. But prison, a life of misfortunes and unfortunate circumstances, forced me to confront it. And that's when I realized something powerful. Maybe brokenness does not disqualify you. It positions you for transformation. Let me speak to someone watching this right now. You may not be in a physical prison, but you are in something. Depression, shame, regret, addiction, anger, silence. And you keep telling yourself, this is just who I am. No, that is what happened to you. It is not who you are. Here's what I learned. God will meet you in the most unlikely places. Stop believing that you need perfect conditions for a divine encounter. You don't. He met me behind bars. But what I later discovered is this. He had been keeping me through some of the most dangerous moments of my life, long before I ever recognized his presence in that prison cell. He doesn't wait for your life to be clean. He doesn't wait for your environment to be safe. He will meet you right in the middle of your mess. Trauma explains you. It does not define you. Your pain has context, but it does not have authority. Curiosity can open the door to destiny. I didn't start with belief. I started with a question. Sometimes God doesn't require your certainty. He requires your openness. You cannot pass through the glass barrier until you truly know Him. Not religion, not culture, not traditions, not secondhand faith, but relationship. That dream wasn't about punishment. It was about preparation. God was telling me, you are called higher, but you must know me to walk there. If God could meet me in a prison cell, He can meet you in your darkest moment. You are not too far gone. You are not forgotten. You are not damaged beyond repair. You are being shaped. You are being refined. You are being positioned for a purpose. The very thing that tried to break you may be the very thing God uses to build you. Let me say this clearly. Your pain is not pointless. It is preparation. If this testimony spoke to you in any way, I encourage you to like this video and share it with someone who may need encouragement today. Leave a comment below, whether it's your own testimony or the testimony of someone you know. And subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time we post a new video. Not for numbers, but so that more people can be uplifted, strengthened, and reminded that their story is not over. And if you want to go deeper into this journey, you can read the full testimony in my book, Timbo, A Victim of God's Purpose, volumes 1, 2, and 3. This is only a glimpse, a small portion taken from one chapter in volume 3. There's much more. Remember this, your pain is not punishment, it is preparation. And preparation always precedes purpose. So don't waste your suffering. Let it shape you. Let it strengthen you. Let it position you. Because you are not broken beyond repair. You have been built beyond what you imagined. Know Him. Grow in Him. And when the barrier breaks, walk boldly. I'll see you in the next testimony.